Yo, what's up, everyone? It's Legacy here, back with another Fire What If. This time, we're diving into what if Naruto united all the Jinchuuriki. You already know this one's gonna be epic. Imagine the power of all 9-tailed beasts working together under Naruto's leadership. Before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, do let me know how you feel about the new thumbnail style. I tried to remove repetitive stuff and make it more to the point. Big shout out to Lightning Rider for this story, you're the real MVP. Alright, no more wasting time. Let's jump straight into it. Kurama looked around. He had been sealed again. He had only been out of the woman for an hour at most. And even then he was being controlled by that damn Uchiha. At least the seal seemed to be a bit weaker. Instead of being chained to a boulder with a painful spike in his chest, he was in a cage. He growled. An 8-trigram seal. That damn fourth Hokage even split me in two. Now, who am I sealed inside of? The cry of a child rang out. Kurama looked down to see a baby. He didn't seem to be more than a month old. Looking closely, Kurama realized that it was the child of his previous Jinchuuriki. A wave of sadness washed over him. He had no idea why. It may have been because he knew that he had killed this boy's parents before he even knew them, or maybe it was because he knew the child would be blamed for what he had done while under the control of that accursed Uchiha. The child opened his eyes. They were blue, a bright, welcoming blue. They were in stark contrast to Kurama's harsh red eyes. The boy looked at him. He reached out with his chubby hands, grasping at Kurama. A lovely smile spread across his face, and he started laughing. Kurama was shocked. Most kids would have started crying when they saw him. This one seemed to like him. The laugh lit a warmth in Kurama's heart. He gave a toothy grin, and the child laughed even more. Gently, not wanting to hurt the child, he stuck a hand through the cage. He may not like most humans, but he had a soft spot for little kids. He curled his finger, making sure his claw wouldn't cut him, and let the child grab his fur. The little boy touched that fur and started to cuddle with it. He didn't pull the fur off and was very gentle. Kurama chuckled. The child fell asleep and vanished. Kurama figured that he woke up in the real world. In the real world, Naruto was in the basket in front of the hundreds of people that had gathered for the memorial service for the people who lost their lives in the Nine-Tails attack. After it ended, ANBU members took Naruto to the Hokage's manor. For the next 3 years, a masked woman took care of Naruto. She showed him no love though. She fed him and did the bare minimum for him. Little did she know, Kurama was always watching the people around Naruto. He hated that they treated him like this. They saw him as the prisoner instead of a prison. When he turned 4, he was given his father's house. The third Hokage would come by from time to give him money. Kurama remembered that his previous Jinchuuriki asked him to take care of her son, Naruto. He didn't do that. Kurama wondered when he should show himself to Naruto. He doubted that he remembered him. He was an infant after all. One day, as Naruto was walking around town, a group of teenagers grabbed him and pulled him into an alleyway. Unable to keep his balance, he fell to the ground. Puffing out his cheeks, he glared at the teens. There were 3 of them. He didn't seem to be afraid. On the outside anyway. On the inside, he was worried. Even as a kid, he knew that the odds here were not in his favor. What dash? Before he could even finish, one of the teens punched him. You don't have that right to even talk. You killed our parents. You should have been the one to die. Not them. The 3 boys started to kick at the small child. Naruto curled up and took the abuse. He had no idea what he had done. He knew, even at that age, that he hadn't killed anyone. The trio got bored and left after about 5 minutes. Naruto stayed curled up for a little while longer. He was in a lot of pain. Once he was sure that there wasn't anyone around, he ran back to his house. Locking the door the moment he got in, he ran to the bathroom. Looking in the mirror, he saw how badly hurt he was. Both of his eyes were black. He had blood running down the side of his forehead and a bloody nose. His arms and legs were covered in bruises. Taking a deep breath, he washed his face off. What do I do? Naruto muttered under his breath. This was when Kurama realized that this was his chance. Pulling Naruto into his subconscious, he spoke up. Oi, kid. This was a bit of a shock to Naruto. Whipping around, He faced the huge face of the fox in front of him. He could only see the face and the cross of the arms that it was leaning on. Part of him knew he should be scared, but he wasn't. He had overheard people calling him a demon fox. He clicked the two pieces. He smiled at the fox. "Hello. Are you the fox people think I am?" Kurama blinked. This wasn't the reaction he was expecting. He was still a kid, so that might be it. Nodding, he spoke up. "Why didn't you fight back?" Naruto shifted. "I was worried that if I fought back, they would hurt me more." Kurama smiled. "I see. I didn't expect a kid to be this smart." Naruto crossed his arms and puffed out his cheeks. "That's mean. But that aside, my name is Naruto Uzumaki." "What's your name?" Kurama gave a small smile. "I am the Kubiai, the nine-tailed demon fox. My name is Kurama." Naruto's eyes brightened and he gave a big smile, letting his arm fall to his side. "I like that name, but where are we?" "I was in my house a second ago." Kurama laughed. "This is your subconscious. All you humans have one. I brought you here. I wanted to help you." Naruto tilted his head. "How?" Kurama snorted. "I'll show you." The next second, he gave Naruto a tiny bit of chakra. He didn't want to give him too much, as that would hurt him. As Naruto's body absorbed it, his bruises healed. The swelling in his eyes died down and the small gash on his head closed. Naruto clapped his hands. "That was so cool." Kurama smiled. "Listen, kid. Don't think that I can keep doing this for you. That power I gave you was small, but your body isn't strong enough." Naruto looked at him. "Is it because I'm a kid?" Kurama tilted his head back and forth. "That's pretty much it." Naruto walked closer to the cage. "Kurama, you said that you were the Nine-Tails. Does that mean that there are others like you? Like one with only one tail?" Kurama gave a sad smile. "Yes, there are 8 others like me." Naruto stood just outside of the cage. "Can you tell me about them?" Kurama smiled. "Maybe another time. Using my power will cause you to go get tired. You should sleep." Naruto lowered his head. "Okay. It was nice to meet you, Kurama." As the years passed, Naruto spent a lot of time with Kurama. He had taught him a lot of skills. He still couldn't fully use Kurama's chakra, but he had gotten good at tapping into it. He did make sure that he never used it around people. Both he and Kurama agreed that it would be better if the villagers didn't know that he was communicating with the beast that had attacked the village, even though he was being controlled. Naruto did struggle with the shadow clone, but because Kurama also didn't know much about it, it wasn't going well. He was still young, so that was probably the reason. One day, in an attempt to make friends with his classmates, he was wandering around the woods just outside the village. There was a shinobi from a different village that was taken down. His classmates wanted him to find that person and bring something back to prove it. "I don't know about this kid." Kurama spoke in his mind. "Why?" Naruto responded. It took him an embarrassingly long time to learn that all he had to do was think, and Kurama would hear it. If that person was attacked, then there might be people from their village. You should be careful. No one knows that you're here. To be fair, I'm supposed to be in class. Irika-sensei might come looking for me. There's a good chance that Choji-kun will tell him. I'm pretty sure that he saw me talking to them. If you say so, kid. If something does happen, I'm helping. You can't stop me." Naruto gave a little chuckle. "I won't try to stop you if it gets that far, but at least let me try to handle what happens on my own. I don't want to get in the habit of relying on you." "Fine. If something happens, wake me up. I'm taking a nap." Naruto slipped down a ledge. Okay, after a few hours of wandering, he hadn't found much of anything. He did find some mushrooms to eat for lunch. Irika-sensei had been looking for him, but he was able to get away using a transformation jutsu, turning into a rock. As he was walking around, a glint caught his eye. Moving closer, he found a shuriken. A piece of bloody cloth was pinned to the tree by it. Following the other gashes and ninja tools, he found the body of a man. Kunai in his neck. Naruto took a deep breath. He knew that the ninja died, but he had never seen a dead body before. Looking around the body, trying not to get blood on his clothes, he found a few things. There was a really cool kunai hidden in his bag. The thing that caught his eye was a scroll. Opening it, he found a lot of complicated business stuff that he didn't understand, but there was something in it that caught his eye. It was a plan to kill the Hokage. Naruto was now starting to get worried. He transformed the scroll into a bracelet, not wanting the man's comrades to know he had it. Before he could transform the kunai, he heard the sound of the ninja coming to him. Moving away from the body, he acted like a normal kid that was wandering around. He couldn't hide the kunai, but this might fool them that he knew about the scroll. When he got 50 meters away, a trio of female ninjas landed in front of him. Acting clueless, and he was still a little clueless, he looked at them. "Who are you?" He could tell that they weren't from the Leaf, as weren't wearing what their ninja wore, and they matched what the dead man was wearing. The woman in the middle scoffed. "That doesn't matter. Where did you get that kunai?" Naruto took a step back. He figured that Kurama was still sleeping, so he had to be careful. Iruka-sensei might also be around, and he knew that Kurama, when he was controlled, had killed his parents. "I found it." "So what?" Her eyes narrowed. "Give it." Naruto took another step back. He knew that there was an animal trap behind him. All he would have to is run back, and he was sure they would follow him. He had this area memorized, and he knew where all the traps are. They wouldn't be activated by him, as he didn't weigh enough. "No, I found it. Why should I give it to you?" He took one more step back. The middle woman snapped her fingers. The two on either side pulled their swords out. "I said give it." Naruto scrambled back. The three women landed right on the trap. They were lifted right up into the air. Without a second to lose, he ran and started to head to the next trap that was on the way to the village. As he ran, he heard the leader scream, "I'm going to kill you." Naruto was pretty sure she wasn't bluffing. He might have been a kid, but she had serious anger issues. As he ran, he heard the sound of people falling to the ground. One of them must have used their sword to cut themselves free. Naruto bit his lip. The next trap probably wouldn't hold them for long. He had to hurry and lose them. Before he even got to the next trap, he felt a sharp pain in his leg. Stumbling to the side, and with some bad luck, he managed to fall off a cliff. As he tumbled down, the pain in his leg got worse. When he looked down at his leg, he found that one of the women managed to get a kunai in his leg. On his tumble down the cliff, the kunai dug deeper into his leg. As he grasped his leg, he heard, "Naruto." Looking up, he saw that Iruka was jumping down to him. He stopped his hand right before he touched his leg. "Oh God, what happened?" Before he could answer, the three women appeared on top of the cliff. Iruka glared at them. "You not from here? What are you doing here?" The middle woman scoffed. "That doesn't matter. Just leave the kid to us." Iruka put his hand in front of Naruto. This caused Naruto to scoot closer to his sensei. "That's not going to happen. I'm in charge of this child." The woman on the left laughed. "What are you? His teacher? That's lame. Difficult students are just that more rewarding." Iruka gave the response without a second of hesitation. Naruto clung to his teacher. The pain in his leg was getting worse. Iruka glanced at him. He knew he had to get Naruto out of there. He had to get that leg treated. He also wanted to know why Naruto had that kunai. And since when did he have that bracelet? Throwing down a smoke bomb, he got Naruto onto his back and raced off. Naruto held on tight and tried to stay awake. "Kid, what happened?" Kurama's voice boomed in his head. "I'll explain later, but you can't come out. Iruka-sensei is here. I'll be okay." Kurama stayed quiet for a bit. "All right, kid. I hope you know what you're doing." D. A voice rang. Iruka whipped around and blocked the women's sword with his kunai. "I will not let you kill Naruto." Iruka parried her blade away and kicked her. After the other two caught her, the one on the left attacked when she knew Iruka wouldn't be able to turn around. Naruto, realizing this, grabbed a few shurikens from Iruka's bag. When she got close, he chucked one at her. She was able to dodge, but it stopped her from attacking. "Surround them. Don't let them get away." The three went on either side of them and launched a series of shurikens and clasped their hands. The three yelled in unison, "Multi-Phantom Shuriken Jutsu." The shurikens they throw multiplied. A few cut them as they raced by. Then a kunai flew past his face. Both noticed that there was an explosive tag attached to it. Iruka quickly hid behind a tree as the explosion rang out and stopped the shurikens. Kakashi dropped down in front of them. "You two all right?" "Kakashi-san," Iruka said, sounding quite shocked. "What are you doing here?" Your students told me what happened, and I got worried. Naruto smiled. This meant that they would be okay. He had been fighting to stay awake for so long with his leg that he fell asleep on Irika. Right before he passed out, he heard the white-haired man, Kakashi was it, yell, "Go! Irika!" Kurama noticed that fell asleep, so he put a bit of his chakra into the transformation jutsu that Naruto had done on whatever it was, which he made into a bracelet. It was a nice bracelet too. Simple, only a braid of multicolored string, but nice. He woke up only a few minutes later, as the pain also made it hard to stay asleep. He was leaning against a tree. His leg was bandaged, but a bit of blood was leaking through. When he looked up, he saw that Irika was being bandaged by Kakashi. "Irika-sensei." Looking up, Irika let out a sigh of relief. "Thank goodness you're okay." He let Kakashi finish bandaging, then came over to him. "How are you feeling?" Naruto looked at his leg. "It still hurts, but not as much as before." Kakashi walked over. "Why did they attack you?" Naruto touched the bracelet before he started talking. "I found the guy that the leaf guards took down. When I looked around, I found the kunai that Irika-sensei is holding." Irika looked down. He hadn't even realized that he was holding the kunai. Naruto continued, "I also found this." He took off the bracelet and said, "Release." In a puff of white smoke, the bracelet turned into a scroll. Kakashi took it and started to read through it. The one eye visible widened. Irika looked worried. "Kakashi, is everything okay?" When the third Hokage learned about this, Naruto said that he wanted nothing to do with it. As far as anyone knew, this never happened. After all the years, Naruto forgot about it. Naruto was in his house. He didn't have to go to the ninja school. Why? It was the weekend. Naruto was on his bed. He had been talking with Kurama about the other-tailed beasts. Then an idea popped into his head.
Zebech?
Yeah. Do you know if any of the other-tailed beasts are sealed? Note: Naruto knows the names of all the tailed beasts, and not the names of the Jinchuurikis yet. Kurama only knows the names of the other Jinchuuriki. All of us are actually. Kurama admitted. Shikaku is in a kid your age. Gaara, from what I've heard. Matatabi is sealed in Yujito, and Isabu is in Yagura, who's the Mizukage. Son Goku is in a guy called Rashi. Kokuo's sealed in someone called Han. Saiken's in Utakata. Gomi's in a girl younger than you. Fu. Lastly, I know that Gyuki is in a guy called Killer B. Do you think I can get in contact with them? I want to know more about people like me. Naruto stared at the ceiling. I think so. You've been in the forest, seeing the foxes, right? Kurama asked. Yeah. Why? Naruto sat up. If you can train them to use transportation jutsu, they can be used as messengers. Naruto smiled. He got to his feet. Well, let's get to work. After several weeks, Naruto was able to train his foxes in transportation jutsu. While he struggled with it, he found that it was because of his lack of chakra control thanks to the massive amounts he had. Okay, they're ready. Naruto clipped the last amulet to Amanaraka, the fox for Killer B. What should I say? Why are you asking me? Kurama snorted. I don't know. Maybe just tell them you're a Jinchuuriki? I guess it's worth a shot. Naruto pulled out a dozen sheets of paper and a pen. He started with Gaara. Dear Gaara, my name is Naruto Uzumaki from the Hidden Leaf. I understand that you are the Jinchuuriki of the One Tails. I am also a Jinchuuriki. I have the 9 tails. Anyway, I'm writing to you to let you know that there is someone like you. Your fox, Nora, will let you stay in contact with me if you want to. I hope that I'll hear from you. Naruto reread the letter. Okay, I think it's good. You still have 8 more to write. Quiet you, Naruto thought jokingly. He got to work. Next was the letter to Yujito. Dear Yujito, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm from the Hidden Leaf. I know that you are the Jinchuuriki of the 2 tails, Matatabi. I am the Jinchuuriki of the 9 tails. I'm writing to you as I want to get in contact with you and the other Jinchuuriki. I know that we all have suffered and been hurt for something we have no control over. I want to know more about people who are in the same situation as me. I hope that you can write me back. You can do so with this fox. His name is Kai. Naruto, then Yagura. Dear Lord Yagura, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. I am a student of the Ninja Academy in the Hidden Leaf. I know that you are the Jinchuuriki of the 3 tails. My tailed beast, the Nine Tails, told me about you. I'm writing to all the Jinchuuriki as I want to know the people who are like me. I hope that you can find the time to write me back. I understand that you are in the middle of a revolution. To do so, you can use this fox. Her name is Lula. I hope it goes well. Naruto. Next with Rashi. Dear Rashi,
I'm Naruto Uzumaki.
I am the Jinchuuriki of the Nine Tails, so you know I'm from the Hidden Leaf. On to the point of this letter. I'm getting in contact with all the Jinchuuriki. As you have the Four Tails, I know that you are likely in contact with Han, who hosts the Five Tails. Anyway, I hope that I can keep in contact with you. If you want to write me back, you can use this fox. Her name is Carrie. Naruto. His letter to Han was mostly the same.
Dear Han, I'm Naruto Uzumaki.
I am the Jinchuuriki of the Nine Tails, so you know I'm from the Hidden Leaf. On to the point of this letter. I'm getting in contact with all the Jinchuuriki. As you have the Five Tails, I know that you are likely in contact with Rashi, who hosts the Four Tails. Anyway, I hope that I can keep in contact with you. If you wish to do so, use this fox.
His name's Ribi.
Naruto. Then he did the letter to Utakata. Dear Utakata,
I am Naruto Uzumaki.
I host the Nine-Tailed Fox. I know that you have the Six Tails. I wanted to get in contact with you. I'm doing with for all the Jinchuuriki. Anyway, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm happy to listen. You can use the fox, Terra, to talk to me. I hope to hear from you. Naruto. Naruto was excited to write to Fu. Dear Fu,
I'm Naruto Uzumaki.
I have the Nine Tails. Like you, I'm a Jinchuuriki. I want to get in contact with people like me. I know that you have the Seven Tails. Can you tell me about yourself? I want to learn more about you. To write me back, use the fox that has been given to you with the letter. Her name is Kori. Naruto. Lastly was his letter to Killer Bee. Dear Killer Bee,
I'm Naruto Uzumaki.
I am the Nine Tails Jinchuuriki of the Hidden Leaf. I writing to you as I want to know more about the other Jinchuurikis. Can you tell me about yourself? To send a letter back to me, send it with this fox. Her name's Amanaraka. I've also written to Yujito so you can talk to her about this. I hope I can hear from you soon. Naruto. Naruto put his pen down and reread all the letters. Okay, I think these are good. Alright, let's get them sent. Kurama rested his chin on his arms. Naruto put the letters into the messenger bags of the respective fox. He had handmade them using a good sum of his money, for he was going to eat a lot less. But hopefully it would be worth it. Soon the other would be in constant contact. Not only with Naruto but with some of each other. Gaara sat in his room on a chair by the window. He hadn't slept in a week, and he was on edge. His father, Raza, had now tried to kill him 6 times. Gaara had started to believe that Raza would use Temari and Kankuro to try and kill him. If not, he would try to do it on missions. When he heard a yip, he turned and imminently went to attack it. He assumed that it was from his father. Surprisingly, the fox dodged the sand. Gaara did it again, but the fox continued to evade his attacks. Curious, Gaara stopped. The fox trotted up and sat by the redhead's foot. It wagged its tail and yipped again. Gaara noticed the bag that fell at its side. He leaned down and flipped it open. Inside was a folded piece of paper that had a seal of the letter on it. He pulled it out. Unfolding the paper, he found that it was a letter. Dear Gaara, my name is Naruto Uzumaki from the Hidden Leaf. I understand that you are the Jinchuuriki of the One Tails. I am also a Jinchuuriki. I have the 9 tails. Anyway, I'm writing to you to let you know that there is someone like you. Your fox, Nora, will let you stay in contact with me if you want to. I hope that I'll hear from you. Naruto. Gaara narrowed his eyes. Of course, he was suspicious. He guessed that this was a trick from his father, and yet something about it felt different. The style didn't sound like his father's. It was friendly, upbeat, like someone who wanted to connect. Gaara looked down at the fox, Nora, as the letter said. Why do I trust this person? I've never met him. Nora put a paw on his leg. Her tail wagged. A knock rang on Gaara's door, breaking him out of his thoughts. Nora scrambled under the bed, and Gaara quickly stuffed the letter into his bedside table. He walked over to the door. When he opened it, he found that it was one of his father's servants. The servant told Gaara that Raza wanted to talk with him. Gaara glared at the servant. Tell him I don't want to talk to him. Tell him that if I find that someone else comes to get me to talk to him, they will die. He shut the door. Nora crawled out from under the bed. Gaara took the letter back out and made up his mind. He grabbed a pen and paper. Dear Naruto, I am Gaara of the Sand. I find it odd that you contacted me. My father has been trying to kill me to get me to have complete control of the One Tails, Shikaku. I don't trust you, but if you can give me a way to prove that you don't want to cause me harm, I will stay in contact. Gaara. Gaara folded the letter and realized he had nothing to stamp it with. Nora yipped. Gaara looked down to see that she was showing him her side bag. He put his hand in and found a candle, a small box of matches, and a stamper with the letter G on it. Gaara felt a smile tugging at his mouth. He lit a match, dripped some wax onto the letter, and stamped it. He put the letter in the bag. Nora trotted to the door, yipped, and vanished in a shimmer of red chakra. Yujito was finishing up some paperwork when she heard a yip. She looked down to see a small fox with a messenger bag and an amulet with a fox that had two tails around its neck. She leaned down and picked up the fox. The fox licked her nose, causing the Cloud Jonin to giggle. Well, are you cute? She put the fox on her lap. She opened the bag, saw the folded letter, opened it, and started to read. Dear Yujito, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm from the Hidden Leaf. I know that you are the Jinchuuriki of the Two Tails, Matatabi. I am the Jinchuuriki of the Nine Tails. I'm writing to you as I want to get in contact with you and the other Jinchuuriki. I know that we all have suffered and been hurt for something we have no control over. I want to know more about people who are in the same situation as me. I hope that you can write me back. You can do so with this fox. His name is Kai. Naruto. Yujito's eyes widened as she read the letter. She had never imagined that a Jinchuuriki from another village would contact her, much less the other Jinchuuriki. Is he writing to Killer B-san? Yujito asked herself. She decided to write him back. Dear Naruto, thank you for writing to me. I've never had another Jinchuuriki write to me, much less from another village. You are quite right that I have been scorned by other, but having Killer B around, I assume that you are also writing to him. Makes it a little easier. I do like the idea of having another Jinchuuriki in contact with me. So thank you. I would like to know more about you as well. Can you give me some pointers? I hope you can write me back. Yujito. Yujito, who saw that candle, matches, and stamp, sealed the letter and gave it to her fox. She set him down. Good luck, Kai. Kai trotted to the door, yipped, and vanished in a shimmer of red chakra. Yagura rubbed his forehead. He was swarmed with paperwork. The revolution was in full swing, and he wasn't the most popular. Yip. Yagura turned to see an orange fox with an amulet and messenger bag standing next to him. Yagura blinked. He opened the messenger bag and took out all its contents. Dear Lord Yagura, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. I am a student of the Ninja Academy in the Hidden Leaf. I know that you are the Jinchuuriki of the Three Tails. My tailed beast, the Nine Tails, told me about you. I'm writing to all the Jinchuuriki as I want to know the people who are like me. I hope that you can find the time to write me back. I understand that you are in the middle of a revolution. To do so, you can use this fox. Her name is Lula. I hope it goes well. Naruto. Yagura smiled as he read the letter. Another Jinchuuriki was trying to get in contact with him. An act of pure kindness. Yagura quickly wrote a reply. Dear Naruto, thank you for contacting me. I must say that I was surprised. No other Jinchuuriki has tried to get in contact with me. I'm quite glad that you have a way for me to keep in contact. Should you have tried to use eagles, they would have been seen and captured by the revolutionaries. I will try and keep in contact. Yagura. Yagura completed the letter and gave it to Lula. He gave her a pat on the head before sending her on her way. Rashi happened to be chopping wood by his house when he heard a yip. He looked down and saw a fox looking up at him. Assuming the animal was hungry, he went inside and got a small chunk of raw meat. Walking back outside, he half expected the fox to be gone. When he noticed the fox sitting at his door, he knelt to feed it. That's when he noticed the messenger bag. As the fox ate the meat, he opened the bag to find a letter, a candle, a small box of matches, and a stamper with the letter are on it. Rashi flipped open the letter. Dear Rashi,
I'm Naruto Uzumaki.
I am the Jinchuuriki of the Nine Tails, so you know I'm from the Hidden Leaf. On to the point of this letter. I'm getting in contact with all the Jinchuuriki. As you have the Four Tails, I know that you are likely in contact with Han, who hosts the Five Tales. Anyway, I hope that I can keep in contact with you. If you want to write me back, you can use this fox. Her name is Carrie. Naruto. Rashi had to reread the letter a few times before he looked up at the sky. Is this real? So you got one too? Rashi turned to Sihan. He too had a letter in his hand. Standing next to him was a fox that looked almost identical to the one that gave Rashi his letter. The two foxes ran up to each other and started to run around, clearly playing.
Han åkt över.
What are the odds of this? Rashi held out his letter. I don't know. Do you think it's... He let the thought trail off. Han watched as the foxes played. Honestly, it might be. They seem genuine, and the facts line up. Rashi scratched his bread. So, shall we write back?
Han noded.
You got a candle, matches, and a stamper, right? Rashi nodded. Let's get to work. This was Rashi's. Dear Naruto, thank you for the letter. It is a bit of a surprise to get a letter from the Jinchuuriki of the Nine Tails. It's good to know that someone wants to know more about us. You are correct that I am the Jinchuuriki of the Four Tails. I am also friends with Han, who does hold the Five Tails. I have faced discrimination, but it has waned as I've grown. I hope to hear from you again, Rashi. And this was Han's. Dear Naruto, I appreciate your letter. To receive a letter from a citizen of the Leaf, who is also a Jinchuuriki, is a pleasant surprise. I am indeed the Five Tails. The two of us get also well enough, and we can use each other's power without much trouble. I don't know what else to say, other than that I hope to hear back from you. Han. The two sent off their letters, hoping to hear back from the young boy. Utakata ran his hand through his hair. He was sick of being in the mist. The only time he found that he was happy was when he was on missions. The further, the better. He was sitting on a rock, looking out over the water. When he heard a fox yip, he turned to see what it was. He was a little surprised to see a fox with an amulet and messenger bag standing a few feet away from him, wagging its tail. Utakata bent over and held out his hand. The fox moved closer and licked his hand. He yipped again. Opening the bag, Utakata pulled out a letter. He blinked, confused as to who would send him a letter by a fox. Dear Utakata,
I'm Naruto Uzumaki.
I host the Nine-Tailed Fox. I know that you have the Six Tails. I wanted to get in contact with you. I'm doing with for all the Jinchuuriki. Anyway, if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm happy to listen. You can use the fox, Terra, to talk to me. I hope to hear from you. Naruto. Utakata smiled as he read the letter. He pets the fox, Terra, as stated in the letter. He pulled a pad of paper and a pen from inside his kimono. He decided the moment he finished the letter that he would write back. Dear Naruto, thank you for the letter. I appreciate you getting in contact with me. Using a fox is very clever of you. I'm guessing that you got that from the Nine Tails. I do someone who needs someone to talk to at times. I will surely keep in contact. Again, thank you, Utakata. The Six Tails Jinchuuriki sealed the letter. He put it in his bag of Terra. He gave her a pat on the head. Good luck, little one. Terra moved her head, and Utakata scratched her behind her ear. She walked off, yipped, and vanished in a shimmer of red chakra. Fo dangled her legs off a tree. She had finished her treehouse. She needed to get away from everyone treating her like she was a monster. She tried to be upbeat, but it was getting harder. Yip, yip, yip. Fo looked down. At the base of the tree, she saw a fox. At first, she thought it wanted to eat her, so she didn't go down right away. Then, she saw the messenger bags that rested on their sides. She jumped down, and the fox patterned around her, yipping and wagging its tail. She knelt and opened the bag. A letter, she asked herself. She pulled it out. Dear Fu,
I'm Naruto Uzumaki.
I have the Nine Tails. Like you, I'm a Jinchuuriki. I want to get in contact with people like me. I know that you have the Seven Tails. Can you tell me about yourself? I want to learn more about you. To write me back, use the fox that has been given to you with a letter. Her name is Kori. Naruto, a friend. Fo picked up the fox and spun around. Kori's mouth opened and let her tongue hang out. Fo hugged the fox. She adjusted the small animal and jumped through the trees. In a matter of minutes, she arrived at her treehouse, where she lived alone. She let the fox down and Kori patterned around, talking in the room. All that was there was a bed, table, and a single chair. Fo quickly wrote a reply. Dear Naruto, thank you so much for your letter. I don't have any friends, and I'm not yet a ninja. I live alone, in a treehouse I made myself. It's small, but I like it. I never knew there were more people like me, much less having them write to me. The foxes you use are so cute, by the way. Well, I enjoy training, and I love the sushi that I can make. What do you like to do? I want to know so much about you. Fu realized. I don't have a stamper or even wax. Yip, Fu looked to Cory. The small fox leapt into her lap. Fu opened the bag again and found the candle, matches, and stamp with the letter F on it. She smiled. Thanks, Naruto-kun. Killer Bee was sitting in his room when he heard the yip of a fox. He looked over to find a small fox looking up at him. It yipped again, wagging its tail. Killer Bee leaned down and held out his hand. The fox stepped closer and nudged its hand into his hand. As Killer Bee scratched the animal's head, he opened the bag and took out its contents. He sat up and opened the letter. Dear Killer Bee,
I'm Naruto Uzumaki.
I am the Nine-Tails Jinchuuriki of the Hidden Leaf. I'm writing to you as I want to know more about the other Jinchuurikis. Can you tell me about yourself? To send a letter back to me, send it with this fox. Her name's Amanaraka. I've also written to Yujito so you can talk to her about this. I hope I can hear from you soon. Naruto. Killer Bee chuckled. What do you know? It's not from a foe. Will you ever stop rapping? Yuki asked, annoyed. Killer Bee laughed. Not a chance. Fool, you fool. The Cloud Ninja gets a pen and paper to write a reply. Dear Naruto, your letter made me go whoa. Hey, you've contacted me, the rapping Killer Bee, to be contacted by someone from the Leaf. Strangely, it makes me feel relief. But why get in contact? You might not get anything back. Well, I'll make sure that doesn't happen. Besides, it gives me a chance to practice my rapping. Do you have the Nine-Tails Fox? That's a lot of power to unbox. I hope to hear from you again, even if I don't know when. From the Eight-Tails Hachibi, Killer Bee. Killer Bee folded the letter and gave it to the fox. Give the letter to Naruto, little one. Then go have some fun. Naruto jumped around the rooftops of the Leaf. He was bored out of his mind and was trying to entertain himself. You do remember that today is graduation day, right? Kurama yawned. Naruto stopped at the base of Hokage Rock. Yeah. Why? Aren't you going to practice the clone jutsu? The fox asked. It's your worst one. Why not surprise them with the shadow clone jutsu? Naruto jumped up the trail that lead to the top. You do remember that one. I taught you that too. It's a forbidden jutsu, and 3. You shouldn't have any knowledge of it? Oh, Naruto made it to the top. I didn't think about that. Clearly, Naruto sat on the head of the 4th Hokage, his father. But I can't do the clone jutsu, not with my chakra control. Besides, don't they look the same? The chakra's different. Kurama spread his tail. Also, I think that one of them wants you to fail. What do you mean? Naruto asked, laying on his back. Mizuki, Kurama said.
Ikan sensei's Malisa.
So, what do you want me to do? Fail. What? Naruto shot up. Why? We can find out what he wants. Kurama said nonchalantly. It's the easiest and the fastest. Fine. Naruto said. But if this goes wrong, you're paying. After Naruto failed, it's the same as canon, and I'm too lazy to write it. He sat on the swing on the tree, listening to the parents talk bad about him. Is this worth it, Kurama? Naruto didn't make eye contact with anyone, I'm sure. Kurama kept his eyes closed. Hey! Naruto looked up to see Mizuki. Let's talk. When they got to the vantage point, Mizuki started talking. You know, Irika didn't want to fail you. Naruto looked down. I know, but I wanted to graduate. Mizuki smiled at him. Let me tell you something. I really shouldn't be saying this though.
È so copito secret.
Naruto looked at him with fake wonder. Yeah. Am I doing a good job, Kurama? You could make it a profession. Okay. Naruto didn't break his face. Mizuki put one leg up. There's this thing called the Forbidden Scroll. If you can learn a jutsu from it, you can graduate. It is the Hokage Manor, 7 doors down from Lord Third's office. Bingo. Kurama sat up. That's his motive. He can't get the scroll himself. He wants you to try and get it. Even if you fail, what are the chances the elders are going to believe you over him? Naruto faked a beaming smile. Thanks, Mizuki-sensei. He stood up and leaped away. I need to brush my teeth. calling him sensei. Kurama laughed. He didn't stop laughing for a good few minutes as Naruto went back to his house. Naruto closed and locked the door. Should I do it? Kurama collected himself. Well, you have the skill to steal it, and you can say you learned the shadow clone jutsu from it. It is in there. Heck, it's the first one. Naruto smirked. Wait until night? Wait until night. Kurama confirmed. Naruto stood outside the Hokage manor. There wasn't anyone around, and Naruto had a trick up his sleeve. Because of his bright orange outfit, Naruto learned an invisibility jutsu with the help of Kurama. He did need to hold his breath though. Weaving the signs, he took a deep breath and vanished. He entered the large building. He ran up the stairs and got into the Hokage's office. The door was open, so he didn't need to worry. Naruto grabbed the keys to the room that held the forbidden scroll, which vanished when he grabbed them. Naruto ran out, keeping his steps silent. He got to the room, which was close, but not so close that Hiruzen would hear it open. Naruto glanced back and forth, saw no one, opened the door, closed it, and released his breath. He took a few deep breaths. That was a little harder than I thought, but you got in. Kurama had his head on his hands. Now get the scroll and let's get out of here. Naruto slung the scroll on his back, weaved the signs once more, took a deep breath, and vanished once again. He stepped out, dropped the keys, causing a loud sound, and ran. He raced out of the manor and continued to hold his breath as he raced to the wooded area of the village. He went to an old shack and performed the shadow clone jutsu several times to appear exhausted, while he waited for some ninjas to find him. To his surprise, it was Iruka who found him. Naruto sat panting with his back to the shack. He looked up with fake surprise. Iruka glared at him with anger. There you are. Naruto. Naruto put his hand behind his head and laughed. Oh, I guess you found me. Iruka blinked. He was surprised at how calm Naruto was. Naruto smirked internally. Time to cause mischief. Hey, do you want to see what I've learned? Then I can graduate. Iruka blinked again. What are you talking about, Naruto? Naruto got to his feet. If I learn a jutsu from the scroll, I get to graduate, right? Iruka's hands were shaking. Naruto, who told you that? Mizuki-sensei. Naruto gave a bright smile, which was only half faked. He told me everything. Where the scroll was, that learning a jutsu means I could graduate everything. I'm so throwing that jerk under the bridge. I wish I had popcorn. This is amazing. Kurama smirked. Iruka suddenly gasped. Watch out. He shoved Naruto to the side. Naruto wasn't expecting this. He fell as a volley of kunai was launched at Iruka. A number of them hit his sensei. Iruka-sensei, Naruto yelled. Did Mizuki find us? Up there. Kurama said, I'm surprised you found this place. Naruto and Iruka looked up to see Mizuki. He had two massive shurikens on his back. Naruto was good at acting. What's going on? Naruto. Mizuki, one hand on the tree he was standing on. Give me the scroll. Iruka was panting. He pulled a kunai out of his leg. Naruto, whatever you do, don't give Mizuki the scroll. Mizuki chuckled. Why should he trust you? You're keeping something from him. Naruto looked between the two of them with fake shock. What is he talking about, Iruka-sensei? Don't tell him. Iruka yelled at Mizuki. That's an S-rank secret. It's probably a fact that I'm your Jinchuuriki. Naruto kept his shocked expression on. Mizuki didn't stop. He told the story of what happened on the night of his birth. He framed it in a way that Naruto was the Ninetales. Naruto didn't move. He acted like he was in shock. Iruka had tears in his eyes. Mizuki spoke about his parents' death. Mizuki unclipped one of the shurikens on his back. Now, if I kill you, I'll gain fame.
You read it.
He chucked the shuriken. Naruto scrambled to get out of the way, but he miscalculated where the shuriken would be. It headed right at him. Naruto had to keep his act up, so he put his hand over his neck, but the blow never came. Naruto turned around and a genuine shock crossed his face. Iruka shielded Naruto with his own body. The massive shuriken had buried itself in his back. Iruka coughed out a bit of blood. Drops fell on Naruto's face. Iruka-sensei, Naruto muttered. Why did you do that? He wanted to protect you. Me being in you doesn't make him hate you. Kurama smiled softly.
I'm sorry, Naruto.
Iruka tried to hold back his tears, but some still fell. He gave Naruto his story. After he finished, Mizuki laughed. Oh really? You're the same? So, you're a demon too, Naruto. Iruka breathed out. Run. Get out of here. But sensei, Naruto started. Go! Iruka yelled. Naruto got to his feet and raced off. He still had the forbidden scroll on his back. I swear I'm going to kill Mizuki. Mind if I join? Kurama joked. You shouldn't encourage murder. Naruto scolded. He glanced up to see Iruka with his fingers crossed and a log under his arm. In a puff of smoke, he turned into Naruto, and the log turned into the forbidden scroll. He's going to trick Mizuki with a transformation jutsu. Naruto smiled at him. Nice, Iruka-sensei. Looks like Mizuki had the same idea. Look at 8 o'clock. Naruto looked up to see Mizuki enveloped in a puff of smoke, turning into Iruka. Naruto smirked. That's not going to work on the real Iruka. You want to listen to what happens? Hell yeah. Naruto performed his invisibility jutsu and followed them from the ground. Naruto! Mizuki yelled to Iruka. What Mizuki told you was a lie. Give me the scroll. I'll get it away from him. Iruka jumped up and hit Mizuki in the chin. This knocked the two to the ground. Mizuki struggled to his knees. Naruto, how did you know? He turned back into his real form. That I wasn't Iruka? Iruka chuckled. He turned back. Because I'm Iruka. Mizuki got to his feet. Why do you protect him? He killed your parents. He doesn't think. All he's going to do is kill without remorse. He's just a beast. Naruto hid behind a tree. Don't listen to him, Iruka-sensei. You're right. Naruto clamped his hand over his mouth when he heard Iruka's words.
No.
Nu. That is how beasts are. But Naruto's not a beast. Naruto smiled. Iruka-sensei, sure he's not the smartest, but he's motivated. He will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. He's no beast. Iruka glared at Mizuki. He's Naruto Uzumaki of the village hidden in the leaves. I told you, Kurama said, smiling. He believes in you. Mizuki unclipped the second shuriken. I see you're blind to the truth. I was gonna kill you after I got Naruto, but I changed my mind. You're dead. He flung the shuriken at his fellow ninja. Iruka didn't move. His leg was badly injured, and he had lost a lot of blood. His adrenaline was fading, and the pain was getting worse. The massive wound to his back was still bleeding. Naruto didn't hesitate to save his sensei. He knocked the shuriken to the side with the scroll and punched Mizuki in the mouth. The force knocked him back. Naruto stood in front of his teacher. If you lay one hand on Iruka-sensei, he glared at Mizuki with murder.
I'll kill you.
Oh yeah. Mizuki got to his feet. You can't even lay a hand on me. Naruto crossed his fingers in the sign for the shadow clone jutsu. Whatever you try to do to me, I'll give it to you 1,000-fold. Yeah? Mizuki yelled. Bring it, demon fox. Naruto smirked internally. You don't know what you're in for.
Multi-shadow clone jutsu.
A 1,000 puffs of smoke appeared. Out of each one, a Naruto appeared. Mizuki's eyes widened, and so did Iruka's. Iruka smirked. Those aren't just images, but solid clones. Now that's an advanced jutsu. Well? All the Naruto spoke. Aren't you going to attack? Mizuki stumbled and fell on his rump. He was shaking. Well, if you're not going to come at me, a few Narutos said, then we'll come after you. Different Narutos answered. Mizuki cried out as the Narutos attacked. After he finished, all the clones vanished, and Mizuki was sufficiently bloodied up. Naruto went to Iruka. The ninja had watched the entire thing. He hadn't moved from his spot. Naruto knelt next to him, with the scroll slung over his back. Are you okay, Iruka-sensei? Iruka nodded. He tried to stand, only for him to collapse. He grunted in pain. Naruto pulled some bandages from the bag on his leg. He wrapped the wound on Iruka's leg. Once he finished, he pulled out gauze and tape. Iruka knew what he was going to do, and willingly complied. He took off his vest, turned around, and rolled up his bloody shirt. Before he applied the gauze, Naruto used the tiniest amount of chakra to pull the wound together, like stitches. He then put on the gauze and held it down with tape. Once he finished, Irika pulled his shirt down and put on his vest. He turned and smiled at Naruto. Well done. Naruto tilted his head. Ha!
Geume.
Close your eyes. Naruto followed the instructions. He felt Irika gently grab his hand and press something into it. Open your eyes, Naruto. The blonde opened his eyes and saw a headband in his hand. Absolute joy filled Naruto. He jumped into Irika's arms. Thank you, Irika-sensei. After Naruto saved Irika, he was able to graduate. He did have to act a little when Mizuki told him that he was the nine-tailed fox, but it did hurt when he told him Irika hated him. When Irika believed in him, that was all the proof he needed that Mizuki was wrong. Now he was waiting for his new sensei. He was teamed up with Sakura Harano, who he used to have a crush on, but he now found annoying. His other teammate was Sasuke Uchiha. This was okay. He was no longer jealous of him, and at least he was quiet. Naruto, having gotten bored waiting for their sensei, placed the very dirty eraser in the door frame. He ignored Sakura's protests and soon heard their sensei coming. When the door opened, a man with gravity-defying gray hair stepped in. It was clear to Naruto that he saw the trap, but he let it fall on his head regardless. Naruto laughed. Sasuke only scoffed and Sakura apologized and laid all the blame on Naruto. The white-haired man sighed. Whatever. Now all three of you, meet me on the roof in 5 minutes. With that, he vanished. Sakura fumed. He shows up late and we have to meet him on the roof. Naruto was already out the door, and Sasuke soon followed. Naruto was very fast from training with Kurama for years. He had secretary gotten good at sealing jutsus and he was now in contact with all the other Jinchuurikis. He was able to befriend foxes and they were messengers. They could use a transportation jutsu. Some had responded more than others. Gaara, the one-tail, wasn't the most talkative, but Naruto was getting him to open up. His father had tried to kill him 6 times and Naruto helped him with the trauma. He was from the hidden sand. Yujito, the two-tails, was very polite and she was friends with Killer Bee, the 8-tails. Killer Bee liked to rap instead of speaking normally. Naruto found it funny. They were from the same village, the Hidden Cloud. Yagura, the 3-tails, and the 4th Mizukage were quite formal, but they had become good friends. He knew that he was thought to be very violent, but he was in the middle of a rebellion. He was from the Hidden Mist. Rashi, the 4-tails, was nice, but they didn't have much in common. Han, the 5-tails, was in the same boat as Rashi. Both of them were from the Hidden Stone. Utakata, the 6-tails, was now a missing nin and was from the Hidden Mist as well. Naruto had a harder time getting in contact with him because he was always on the run. Naruto was trying to decide if he should tell him that his Mizukage was also a Jinchuuriki. Fu, the 7-tails, was a little younger than him. They had a similar sense of humor. She was from the hidden waterfalls. Naruto made it to the roof in 2 minutes, and he wasn't even out of breath. He found his sensei leaning against the rails. Naruto sat down across from him on the steps. The gray-haired man raised an eyebrow. You got here fast. Naruto gave him a bright smile. Is there something bad about that? The man chuckled. Before he could respond, Sakura and Sasuke came up the stairs. Sakura was slightly winded, and Sasuke seemed to be fine. Sasuke sat next to Naruto and Sakura sat next to him. The man cleared his throat. All right, now that you're all here, let's do some introductions. My name's Kakashi Hatake. I have many interests, and I will be your sensei. Sakura, you go. Naruto told Sakura. He had a pretty good idea that she would fangirl over Sasuke. Sasuke's talking now. Naruto leaned back and looked over at Sasuke as he talked. Sasuke sighed. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I don't have many interests, and my goal is to kill a certain someone. Naruto shifted. He didn't like the idea of killing someone, and from the way Sasuke was talking, Naruto guessed that it was for revenge. Naruto gave a smile before he started talking. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like ramen and foxes. My dream is to become Hokage. Kakashi narrowed his eyes. The foxes thing was a little odd and very specific. He sighed. All right, tomorrow, I want you to meet me at Training Field 26 at 5 a.m. sharp. Also, don't have breakfast. Later. He vanished. Sakura seemed a bit miffed, but she didn't say anything. Naruto shrugged. He jumped away. He wanted to get back to his house. He was expecting a message from Gaara. When he entered his house, he found one of the orange foxes on his bed, fast asleep. This messenger bag flopped on either side. With a soft smile on his face, he gently removed the letter from the bag. Dear Naruto, I'm glad that you were able to graduate from the academy. I know that the Leaf does the same team setup as my village. As you know, I'm on a team with my 2 siblings. They still have no idea that I'm corresponding with you. Your foxes are very sneaky. I would like to know who your teammates are. My father has not made any more attempts to kill me. I think that because I am now friends with my tailed beast, I'm not losing control. I am still cold with everyone else, even my siblings. You are still the only one I've opened up to. I guess I can't connect with even my siblings. I have been doing a lot of missions lately. I still haven't gotten hurt. I hope to hear back from you soon, Gaara. Naruto smiled. Sitting at his table, he started to write back to Gaara. Dear Gaara, you are right that other villages do the same thing for teams. I think that most villages do that. My team captain is Kakashi Hataka. He's a bit aloof, so I don't know much about him. He was late to meet us and was going to do a training drill tomorrow. I don't know what it is, but I think it will be fun. My 2 teammates are Sakura Harano and Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura is a bit annoying. She's a fangirl of Sasuke. She has bright pink hair that is long. She's not the best fighter, but I think she would be good at medical ninjutsu. I know that you need good chakra control to do it well. I'm not saying that because she's a girl. Sasuke, on the other hand, is very good at hand-to-hand combat. He's good with shurikens. He is a bit of a jerk though. I do know that his clan was killed, so I guess that it's a defense thing. When we had our first talk as a team, he said that his goal was to kill someone. I hope that we might meet in person someday. Naruto figured that he would send the message in the morning. It would be mean to the fox, whose name was Nora, if he made her do it now. He sat down on the bed and began to meditate. He would be training with Kurama and changing his mindscape from a sewer to a grassy plain. This was not only for him but also for Kurama. He wanted him to feel less trapped. He hadn't removed that seal, as his body still wouldn't be able to handle the chakra. He hoped that tomorrow would be fun. Okay, kunai, shurikens, smoke bombs. Am I forgetting anything? You worrying too much, kid. Have you eaten? Kurama asked. Yes, but are you sure I should have? Kakashi-sensei said not to. Don't let him scare you. If you don't eat, you won't have any energy. You should probably bring some food for your team. I bet that they didn't eat. You got a point. Putting a few apples in his bag, he raced off to the training ground. He knew that Kakashi would come there at 5, so there was no point in coming early. When he got there, he found Sakura and Sasuke waiting. Both looked tired, and Sakura was clutching her stomach. He smiled and waved. Hey guys! Sakura glared and tried to smack him, but he dodged. Why are you so late? You're as bad as Kakashi-sensei. Naruto shrugged. I figured that he wouldn't be here at 5, so why would I get up so early? Did you two eat? Sakura scoffed. Of course not. Kakashi-sensei said not to. A ninja always follows orders. Naruto put his hand on his hip. And a ninja needs to be ready for action. How is a ninja supposed to do that if they don't have any food? Sakura opened her mouth, then closed it. She had no rebuttal. Naruto sighed and pulled the apples out of his bag. Here, I figured you would need it. Sakura hesitated, but Sasuke took the apple. Thanks. Seeing that Sasuke took it, Sakura grabbed the apple and took a bite. She couldn't believe how good it tasted. She wasn't eating a lot. She, as well as most of the other girls, were dieting to impress Sasuke. At around 10, Kakashi came walking up. Yo! Sakura pointed a finger and screamed. You're late, he shrugged. Sorry. I got lost in the path of life. Sasuke glared. Why did you make us come here so early if you were going to come 5 hours late? Kakashi gave a smile. That doesn't matter. Did you eat? Sakura and Sasuke didn't say anything, but Naruto interjected. I did. Kakashi narrowed his eyes. Why did you disobey my order? Naruto looked him dead in the eye. Because a ninja needs food to follow orders. Kakashi nodded. Very good. You need to look beneath the beneath. Naruto sighed. Kakashi put a timer on a stump. Behind it was 3 wooden poles. All right, this timer is set for noon. Kakashi pulled 2 bells out of his belt pouch. What you need to do is take these bells from me by then. Sakura shifted. But sensei, there are 3 of us and only 2 bells. Kakashi nodded. Very good, Sakura. Whichever one of you doesn't get a bell will be sent back to the academy. The 3 genin stiffened. Kakashi yelled, "Begin!" The trio jumped away and hid in the trees. Naruto bit his lip. There's something off about this. Ninja teams are meant to stay together. Do you think that's probably the point of the test? It's to see how well you work together. Are you cool with me not using your chakra? I don't think they should know I talked to you. That's a fine kid. Thanks. Naruto heard a scream. It sound like Sasuke. Naruto clenched his fist. Looks like Kakashi-sensei got Sasuke. I've got to find him. After running around, he found Sasuke buried up to his neck. Hey, Sasuke, Naruto said as he landed in front of him. Sasuke growled. What are you doing here, Naruto? Naruto rolled his eyes. I'm going to get you out. Besides, I know the point of the test. It's teamwork. Sasuke narrowed his eyes. Idiot. The point of the test is for him to see how good we are. Naruto sighed. You do know that he is a Jonin. We just graduated from the academy. We have no chance of beating him. Sasuke sighed. Fine. I guess you have a point. Just get me out. Naruto shrugged. Okay. He crossed his fingers. Shadow clone jutsu. Sasuke snorted. Idiot. Clones can't dash. He was cut off by Naruto and his clone pulled him out. Naruto laughed as the clone dispersed. Shadow clones are solid. Come on. Let's get Sakura. She is part of our team. Sasuke groaned. Fine. I don't like her. Naruto laughed. As they raced around, they found Sakura on the floor, unconscious. Sasuke knelt next to her and sighed. Kakashi got her with a genjutsu. He raised his hand and said, Release. Sakura woke with a start.
Sasuke-kun.
I thought he got you in a genjutsu. Naruto sat on his knees next to the 2. Anyway, we need to work together if we ever want a chance at getting even one of the bells. Sasuke clenched his fist. I even touched one of them. Naruto's eyes brightened. I got an idea. What do you think of this? In the trees, Kakashi watched them. What are they doing? 5 minutes before the timer went off, Kakashi was waiting in a clearing, reading his perverted book. A series of kunai from either side was launched at him. Kakashi quickly noticed that a few of them had explosive tags. Jumping in the air, he let the tags explode. Now! Naruto's voice rang out. Several shurikens were thrown at him in mid-air. He was easily able to dodge them and caught Sasuke just in the clearing. Sasuke pulled his arms back and the shurikens were pulled back toward him. He hadn't seen that they were attached to wires. Kakashi knew that he would need to take this a bit more seriously. Putting his book away, he dropped just enough to be out of range of the shurikens. When he looked, he saw that Naruto had made 2 clones. The clones launched Naruto into the air. Preparing to defend himself, Naruto went up into a puff of smoke and turned into Sakura. Transformation jutsu, Kakashi muttered. Sakura grabbed onto his chest and spread his arm apart. This left the bells exposed. Now Naruto raced into the clearing and had the clone launch him into the air. Grabbed for the bells. This was when their plan went wrong. Naruto knew that they still only had a small of getting the bells, but he was a bit optimistic as it had been going smoothly. When he got close to his sensei, Kakashi kicked him in the cheek. This knocked the wind out of him and also made him lose focus with the shadow clones. Naruto fell to the floor as the clones dispersed. Naruto! Sakura yelled. Taking her eyes off Kakashi's let him shove Sakura off, and he got her pinned to the floor. Sasuke then charged at Kakashi, thinking that because he has his hands occupied, he would be able to get the bells. Kakashi shot out his hand and backhanded Sasuke away. Before any of them could make another move, the timer for noon. Kakashi stood up and walked over to the timer. Well, it looks like you failed the test. The 3 genin struggled to get up. Naruto was the first one to speak. But we didn't. Kakashi narrowed his eye. What makes you say that? Naruto laughed. Easy. The point of the test wasn't to get the bells. It was to teamwork. Kakashi leaned against one of the poles. An old friend of mine once said, "Those who break the rules are scum, but those who abandon their friends are worse than scum." I'm surprised you got that. Naruto smiled. The fact that there were only bells was a dead giveaway. Ninja teams are meant to work together. With there only being 3 bells, that meant that one of us, even if we got the bells, would need to go back to the academy. We would have to abandon a teammate. Kakashi laughed. Intuitive. Good work, Naruto. Sasuke dusted off his clothes. Now what? Kakashi pulled out his book. Tomorrow we will start on D-rank missions. Once we complete 30 D-rank missions, we'll be able to do a C-rank mission. Get that? Naruto nodded. Let's get to work. How many D-rank missions have you done now? Kurama sounded a little annoyed. We're doing our last D-rank mission today. Why? Naruto put a few containers of cookies in his bag. The mission was to bake cookies for a nursing home. I just don't see the point in doing these. It's not like teamwork comes into play in a lot of these. What do they want you to do? Pass weeds to one another? Locking his door, Naruto started walking to the nursing home. I know that. I also don't get the point, but there's nothing we can do about it. Fine, I'm going back to bed. Wake me up if something interesting happens. Kurama let out a yawn. Naruto rolled his eyes. He had no clue why Kurama liked to sleep so much, but there probably wasn't much to do in his mind. After deriving the cookies, Team 7 went to the Hokage's office to request a C-rank mission. Iruka was with him and gave Naruto a nod. The third Hokage puffed out a bit of smoke from his pipe. So, you're ready for your first C-rank mission. The 4 nodded in unison. The Hokage smiled and nodded to Iruka. Iruka, let the guest in. Iruka gave a quick bow and went to the door. The moment he opened it, the smell of alcohol wafted into the room. Naruto wrinkled his nose. He did not like the smell of alcohol. A man walked into the room. He was old, maybe around 50, with a wooden hat and a bottle of booze in his hand. Are these the people who will protect me? Iruka nodded. This is Team 7. He turned to them. This is Tazuna. You will be escorting him to his home in the Land of Waves. Naruto's eyes light up for a second. No one noticed, however. The reason that he was excited was that meant that he might get to meet the 4th Mizukage and the Three Tails, Yagura. Kakashi nodded. Tazuna-san, we are pleased to be your escorts. Tazuna hiccup. You better do a good job. Kakashi nodded. Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, go get ready. Be at the gate in 20 minutes. Yes, sir. The 3 headed out the door and headed to their house to get ready. Naruto was very excited. He quickly got a pen and paper and wrote a letter to Yagura. Yagura didn't know what he looked like. The only one he described appearance to was Gaara. Dear Yagura, I got my first C-rank mission, and it's going to take me into your area. We're going to be escorting a man named Tazuna to the Land of Waves. If we are to run into each other, I think I should tell you what I look like. I wear an orange jumper and blue accents with black boots. I have bright blonde/yellow messy hair and bright blue eyes. My most distinctive feature is my whisker marks. I have 3 on each cheek. I will be traveling with Kakashi Hatake. I believe that he's pretty well known, so I don't need to describe him to you. My 2 teammates are Sakura Harano and Sasuke Uchiha. Sakura has long pink hair and green eyes and wears a red outfit. It's hard to miss her. Sasuke has shortish black hair. He wears a blue shirt with the Uchiha crest on the back and short shorts. If you describe yourself to me in your reply, I would appreciate it. Naruto, attaching the letter to the fox, Lula, and the fox walked to the door. When it yipped, it vanished in a shimmer of red chakra. Grabbing a bag, Naruto stocked it with everything he needed for a C-rank mission. A change of clothes, shurikens, explosive tags, wires, food, water, a first aid kit, and a few other odds and ends. He also added his pen and papers to the bag in case his foxes showed up. Checking the weight, Naruto found that it wasn't too bad. Got there in 10 minutes. The only one who was there with him was Tazuna. He had a bag, a towel over his shoulder, and his wooden hat. 5 minutes later, Sakura, Sasuke, and Kakashi were there. Naruto was a little surprised that he was here. Not on time, not late, but early. Kakashi sighed. Well, since all of us are here, we might as well go. All of them nodded and hit the road. Naruto found something odd about Tazuna. He kept looking around like he was expecting an attack. Walking next to Sasuke, he muttered, "Is it just me? Or does the old man seem nervous?" Sasuke bit his lip. So you noticed it too? The two looked at each other and come to a silent agreement. Keep an eye on him. After about an hour of walking, they passed a few puddles. Naruto had been talking with Kurama. Hold on, kid. These puddles are how the twin demon bro hides hide. They're skilled chunin, be careful. Sasuke, he muttered, putting a hand on his kunai bag. Sasuke nodded and took similar action. A second later, two men in armor leaped out of the puddles and wrapped chains around Kakashi. Gah! A second later, he was cut into pieces when the two men pushed the chains back. Kakashi-sensei, Sakura yelled. Naruto and Sasuke leaped into the air. Naruto landed behind one of the men and stabbed his kunai into one of the chinks in the armor. The men roared in pain. This gave Naruto a chance to wrap his legs around the neck of the men, using the man's weight and lack of balance to slam his head into the ground. Looking to the side, he saw that Sasuke had taken care of the other one. Good job, you two. Looking up, they found, of course, Kakashi. Naruto smiled. I guess. Also, nice work with the substitution jutsu. Sakura and Tazuna looked to the spot where Kakashi had been killed. All that was there were pieces of wood. Kakashi helped them tie up the men. These are the demon brothers. They're high chunin. He turned to Tazuna. Could you please tell me why high chunin is after a bridge builder like you? Tazuna sighed. I guess there's no hiding it. He proceeded to explain that a businessman named Gato had taken over the land of waves and was after him because he was building a bridge for the people. He told them that his land was too poor to afford an A-rank mission. Sakura started shaking. Kakashi-sensei, we should go back to the village. We're only genin. Naruto and Sasuke yelled at the same time.
No.
Kakashi sighed. Sorry, Sakura. The majority has spoken. She looked worried but sighed and nodded. After walking for several hours, the sun starts to set. Kakashi slipped his bag off. We should stop here and rest for the night. Sakura and Tazuna nodded and sat down hard. Naruto felt like he could go for several more hours. Soon, they had a campfire and had eaten their dinner, which consisted of fruit, dried meat, and some instant tea. After dinner, everyone but Naruto and Kakashi was asleep. Naruto was leaning against his backpack, staring at the star. Kakashi sat next to him. Why are you still up? Naruto smiled and smiled at him. Why are you up? Kakashi gave a quiet laugh. I'm just about to go to sleep. I was just worried about you. Good night. Naruto nodded. Good night. After about 10 minutes, Naruto heard a yip. Looking over, he saw Lula had returned. Getting the letter out, he started to read. Dear Naruto, I must warn you of something. The man that you are escorting will be attacked. Tazuna is a bridge builder from the land of waves. That part of my territory has been taken over by a businessman named Gato. He will send people after him, and they will not have mercy on you guys just because you're a kid. The first people he is likely to send after you are the twin demon brothers. If you survive them, then the men he will send after you next will cause you a lot of trouble. His name is Zabuza. He was once one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the mist, but he deserted the village. He is very dangerous. If you get across the river, that is when he will attack you. If you survive the twin demon brothers, please contact me again. I will then come to you, and if things go wrong, I will help. Please stay safe. Yagura. Naruto now found himself with a difficult choice. If he told Kakashi that this Zabuza person was coming, he would have to admit that he was in contact with the Musicage, and that would lead down a very deep rabbit hole. Or he could keep quiet and potentially put his team in danger. But they did have Kakashi-sensei with them, and Yagura would be in the background, pulling his pen and paper out of his bag and started to write. Dear Yagura, thank you for giving me that information on this Gato guy. We have already run into the twin demon brothers. Thank you for telling me that we will likely run into a man named Zabuza. We're almost to the river, but we're not across yet. There is something you should know about the foxes that deliver the messages. If I'm in danger, they will come to you and will constantly yip. This is to let you know something has happened to me and I need your help. The fox will go to the person that is closest to me. Naruto, tying the message to Lula, he gave her a gentle kiss on the forehead and sent her on her way. Took him a bit of time to fall asleep, but he managed. When morning came, Naruto was the second one awake, the first one being Kakashi. After the others woke up, Naruto packed his bag and looked at Kakashi. Do you think that more people will come after us? He said this quietly, not wanting the others to hear. Kakashi stiffened. I'm not sure. If this Gato is serious about killing Tazuna, then there's a good chance that more people will come to try and kill him, but we will stop them. The way that he said it gave Naruto a boost of confidence. As they walked to the river, Naruto started messing with one of his kunai. This did cause Sakura to think that someone else was close. Finally, she couldn't stand it. Naruto, stop playing with that kunai. You're making me think that someone else is coming. Naruto gave an awkward chuckle. Sorry, Sakura-chan. Ironic, isn't it? Kurama said with a laugh.
No kidding.
When they got to the river, they found a boatman waiting for them. Hey, Tazuna. This the group protecting you. Tazuna nodded and turned to Team 7. This is a friend of mine. He will take us closer to the land of waves than most others would. The 5 of them loaded up into the boat and pushed off into the water. The river soon turned into an ocean. Naruto, having gotten bored in the half-hour of silence, asked Tazuna something that he had been curious about. Why did you go there, Leaf, in the first place? If it's this dangerous to get back home? Tazuna sighed. It was for my grandson. He wanted something from a different village. He's never been out of the land of waves. I got it for him for his 5th birthday. From his pocket, he pulled a small keychain. A green leaf. Naruto smiled. That looks nice. Sakura nodded in agreement. Kakashi and Sasuke said nothing. After about 15 more minutes, they came to a dock covered in fog. This is as far as I go. The boatman seemed nervous. Tazuna nodded. Thanks for risking it this far. They started walking and soon, they were in a forested area and the fog seemed to have cleared. Unknown to the others, both Naruto and Kurama were on edge. Kurama knew that if he were to take control, then he could beat Zabuza in a snap. But he would probably seriously hurt Naruto. Naruto had spent the past 15 minutes convincing Kurama to stay out of the fight. He had no problem with him healing him, but he did not want the others to think that he was a monster. Kakashi was also a little on edge. He was running all the people that might attack them on their way to the land of waves. Sakura caught something out of the corner of her eye. The bush to the northwest. As they passed it, she looked into it. Ah! She cooed. Kakashi looked at her. What is it? Sakura pointed into the bush. They're a white rabbit. Kakashi's eyes widened. Everyone, get down. The second after they ducked, a blade passed over their head. A man's voice rang out. Every nice. Kakashi of the Sharingan. Sasuke took a sharp breath. Sharingan? What? When the 5 of them looked up, they saw a man standing on the hilt of the executioner's blade. He had bandages covering his mouth and throat. The only thing covering his chest was the strap that would hold his sword to his back. His pants were a light gray with thin black stripes and he wore thick, black sandals. Kakashi snarled. Zabuza, the demon of the mist. The man Zabuza, as the rest now knew, chuckled. I suppose I was in your bingo book. I'm sorry, but I need to kill that bridge builder. Kasashi pulled out a kunai. Sorry, but we have been hired to protect this man. I can't let you kill him. Zabuza pulled this blade out of the tree. Very well then. I'll just kill you all. Let me fight him. I'll teach him to watch his words. Kurama snarled. He was itching for a fight.
No Kurama.
Let Kakashi-sensei handle him. You saw how good he was during that bell test. Naruto bit his lip and pulled out a kunai of his own. He knew kunai would have to stay out of this fight if he could. He got really lucky with the demon brothers. He knew he would be no match for this man. Kurama growled, but he backed down. Zabuza made the first move. Weaving a few hand signs, he said, Hidden mist jutsu. The area was suddenly covered in a thick mist. It covered thick enough to completely limit their vision, but it did make it hard to see. Kakashi asked, Naruto, Sakura, Sasuke, guard Tazuna. Right, the trio said. They quickly surrounded Tazuna. Zabuza lunged at Kakashi. Swinging his sword, Kakashi blocked it with his kunai. His face hardened. Both jumped back and Kakashi chucked a few shurikens at him, which Zabuza blocked with his blade. Kakashi ran at him and launched a series of attacks. Zabuza was able to block them all. Naruto quickly got that Kakashi was testing to see what Zabuza could do. After about 5 minutes of this, Kakashi was able to lead Zabuza away from them. Zabuza got in a solid hit, cleaving Kakashi straight through the chest. Sakura gasped, "Kakashi-sensei!" The two pieces of their sensei turned into a log after a puff of smoke. Zabuza took a sharp inhale. A substitute? Before he could act further, a kunai was pointed at his neck. "Nice try, Zabuza." "I see." Zabuza sounded very calm, despite the kunai to his neck. "I guess you're not a fool." Naruto noticed that his left eye was now uncovered. His eye was a bright red, with 3 black ink marks surrounding the pupil. "Kurama? Is that the Sharingan?" Kurama gave a snarl. "That's it." Naruto gulped. Even with the revolution that his sensei had a Sharingan, it was strange how calm Zabuza was. "But," Zabuza said, "I am not a fool either." A second later, Zabuza dissolved into water. Kakashi lurches back. "A clone." Just then, kunai with explosive tags were launched at Kakashi. He jumped back and dived into the water that was close by to escape the explosion. When he surfaced, he gasped and looked around, trying to find Zabuza. Before he could find him, he was suddenly encased in water. He could still breathe, but it was clear he was trapped. "Kakashi!" Sasuke yelled. Zabuza appeared out of the water. "You are now in a water prison. There is no way for you to get out." Zabuza then created a clone out of the water, and the clone began to hold the prison and keep it stable. The real Zabuza stepped forward. "Now I can have a little fun with your team. I wonder how good they are." Sasuke's eye twitched and charged at Zabuza. "No, Sasuke. You idiot. What is that Uchiha thinking? He's no match for this guy." Sasuke threw a kunai at Zabuza, who dodged it easily. The moment he got close enough, Sasuke tried to stab him in the chest. This didn't go well. Zabuza was able to grab his arm and pinned him to the ground. He then slammed his foot into Sasuke's chest. Sasuke cried out in pain. Kakashi yelled out,
"No."
"You get out of here." Naruto narrowed his eyes. There was no way for them to get away. Zabuza would chase them down and kill every last one of them. Zabuza raised his blade, and it was clear he was going to stab Sasuke right in the chest. Naruto quickly came up with a plan. Charging in, he crossed his fingers and muttered, "Muti Shadow Clone Jutsu." 2 clones grabbed Zabuza's arms and pulled him back. Naruto grabbed Sasuke and handed him to 2 clones that dragged him away. This angered Zabuza. "You little brat." Breaking free from the clones, he slashed Naruto across the chest. He did jump back, but the cut was still deep. Zabuza then kicked him back and Naruto slammed into a tree. Naruto cried out in pain. His injury made his clones disappear. Kakashi was now starting to panic. Naruto was badly hurt, and without medical attention, that injury could get infected fast. Zabuza lunged at him, but before the blade got within 5 feet, a new voice rang out. "Water style. Aqua Mirror Jutsu." A mirrored version of Zabuza appeared out of the mist from the direction of Naruto. It slammed the mirrored blade, forcing him to jump back, even if it was mostly in surprise. Kakashi's eyes widened. None of them could have done that jutsu. Sakura was still next to Tazuna, and Sasuke was still on the ground trying to get up. So who was it? A tremor went through the ground. The mist cleared. Standing in front of a collapsed Naruto was a shortish man. He had pale blonde hair and bright pink eyes with a stitches-up scar under the left eye. He wore green and dark gray robe-like clothes with leather boots. They held a staff with a blue flower on the curved tip. There was a crack under the staff. Kakashi realized that this was the person who not only saved Naruto but also cleared the mist. Zabuza started shaking. "You!" He said it with so much hate, as if that word alone was a 3-paper essay on this person. The man said nothing. He only narrowed his eyes and lunged at Zabuza. What happened next was a shock to the 4 others. Zabuza barely managed to block the man's staff and then get kicked in the ribs. The man then shot a blast that moved so fast that only Kakashi's Sharingan was able to follow it. The blast hit the water clone right in the chest. It was too much damage for it, and Kakashi was now free from the water prison. He ran right to Naruto. Zabuza, knowing he couldn't fight this man, slammed his blade into the ground, creating a lot of dust. The blonde man closed his eyes, and when he opened them again, Zabuza was gone. Taking his mind off Zabuza, The man raced back to Naruto. The rest of Team 7 and Tazuna surrounded Naruto. The cut on his chest was still bleeding. They hear footsteps and looked over to see the mystery man. Only Tazuna recognized him and immediately backed away. Both Sakura and Sasuke drew kunais, wanting to protect Naruto. The man stopped a few feet away from them. "I would like to heal Naruto." Sakura backed off. Sasuke was a bit more hesitant, but let the man through. The blonde man put his hand on Naruto's wound. A soft green light glowed around the man's hand. When the two other genin looked closely and saw that, slowly but steadily, Naruto's wound was closing. After about 5 minutes, the gash was gone. The only thing that was left was a blood-stained slice in his jacket. Sakura gasped, "How did you do that? And who are you?" The man stood up, called medical ninjutsu. "And my name is..." Before he said his name, Tazuna fell to his knees. Sakura put her hand on his shoulder. "Tazuna-san? Are you okay?" Tazuna pointed to the blonde man. "That's the 4th Mizukage." Kakashi's eyes widened. He had heard stories of this man. The cold-blooded killer. Why was he here? Why did he bother to heal Naruto? Kakashi took a deep breath. "Lord Mizukage, why are you here? Why help us Hidden Leaf Ninja?" The Mizukage sighed. "As I was trying to say before, my name is Yagura. I am here because I wanted to meet Naruto. I didn't expect to see Zabuza here." Kakashi stood up. "Thank you for helping us. Now, I will take Naruto to our client's house. He can rest there." "No," Yagura said. His voice screamed, "Obey me. I will be taking Naruto with me. We have things we must discuss. He will be returned to you by tomorrow or the day after." The Mizukage knelt and gathered the now sleeping Naruto into his arms. Before Kakashi could protest, he then vanished. Kakashi growled. "A transportation jutsu." Letting out a sigh, he covered his left eye and said, "We have to hope that the Mizukage will stay true to his word." Yagura stepped into his office after using his transportation jutsu. Naruto was sleeping like a baby in his arms. He was surprisingly light. He sat behind his desk and laid Naruto's head on his lap. He started to get to work on a few different battle plans. After about an hour of work, he heard a groan. Looking at his lap, he saw that Naruto was starting to wake up. He didn't blame him for sleeping. That cut on his chest was deep and he hit his head. He sat on his knees and blinked at Yagura. "Who?" Yagura smiled.
"Hello, Naruto-kun."
"I am Yagura. It's nice to finally meet you." Naruto's eyes widened. "What happened with Zabuza? Is my team okay?" Yagura raised his hand. "Don't worry. They have made it to Tazuna's house. I did briefly battle Zabuza, but he fled." Naruto let out a deep sigh. "That's good to hear. Where am I now?" The Mizukage let out a short laugh. "You are at my office. I brought you here in case I needed to help you again." Naruto blinked. "Help me again?" He looked down at his chest. "Oh, right." He gave then Yagura a big smile. "Thank you." Yagura smiled. "It was the least I could do. After all, you were the one who get in contact with me." Naruto looked at the papers on Yagura's desk. "What's all this? I mean, I know you're in the middle of a revolution, but this looked like a lot." Yagura sighed. "Both of our armies are on standby. The revolutionaries are planning an attack, but I have no idea where that is. They have a plan to kill me." Naruto's eyes widened. He gripped Yagura's arm. "You're not going to die, right? I don't want to lose you." This was a bit of a surprise to Yagura. He put a hand on Naruto's hand. "I do not fear death. Of course, I would rather live. I do have a plan." Naruto looked right into his deep pink eyes. "Promise?" Yagura nodded. "I promise." He looked back at his work. "I do not like to kill, and I'm running low on forces." He muttered this under his breath. Of course, Naruto being right next to him heard him. He thought this was a good time to tell Yagura about Utakata. He took a deep breath. "You know about Utakata, right?" Yagura looked at him. "You mean the recently missing nin, right?" "Yes, what about him?" Naruto laughed. "I thought you know Yagura-chan. Utakata-chan is the Six Tails." The look on Yagura's face was pure gold. Shock, happiness, and frustration are all battling for dominance. "For the love of... I have another Jinchuuriki right under my nose and I had no idea." Naruto laughed again. Yagura gave a smile, as when Naruto laughed, It was impossible not to feel good. Get that damn fox out of here. Both Jinchuuriki jumped up and rushed to the door. When they opened the door, a guard was holding one of Naruto's foxes. Tara, the fox for Utakata. Let her go, Naruto shouted. He cared for his foxes. The guard glared at him. Yagura crossed his arms. Put the fox down. The guard dropped the fox and scampered away. Naruto dropped to his knees. His fox curled up into his lap. I'm so sorry, Tara. Yagura touched the fox inside. The good news is that she's not hurt. Tara licked Yagura's hand. Naruto opened the bag from Tara and read the letter aloud. Dear Naruto, I'm glad that your fox is still able to find me. I'm sending this letter to tell you that it might be a while before I will be able to write to you again. I was injured by ANBU members and Hunter Nin. It was quite silly of me to not learn medical ninjutsu when I had the chance. I will contact you again when I'm safe. Utakata. Yagura clenched his fist so hard that blood started to drip from them. God damn it. Naruto looked up. Is there some way we can get Utakata-chan to come back? Yagura looked at the fox. Around the neck of each fox was a gold amulet with a red fox carved into it like it was asleep. Each was a little different. Each fox had the same number of tails as the one to that they sent messages. Yagura slipped the amulet off the fox. Naruto tilted his head. What are you going to do? Yagura snapped his fingers, and an ANBU member appeared behind him. Yes, Lord Mizukage? Yagura held out the amulet. Find Utakata and bring him back to the village. Do not bring any harm to him. Give him the amulet and this message. Utakata raced through the trees, trying to shake the Hunter Nin. His leg was injured and he hadn't eaten in 2 days, so he was slower than usual. Igura, a voice yelled. Turning his head, Utakata saw that a group of ANBU members had arrived. One of them was clutching something. It wasn't a kunai or a shuriken. We have just received new orders from Lord Mizukage. Utakata grits his teeth. This was bad. He had to get out of here. We are to bring Utakata back to the village without harming him. The Hunter Nin and ANBU members stopped, and so did Utakata. The pain in his leg was getting worse. This made little sense to him. Why did the Mizukage want him back? And not to harm him? What was that about? The ANBU member held out his hand. In his hand was an amulet. Gold, with a red fox with 6 tails carved into it. Utakata gasped. That was the amulet from Naruto's Masager fox. How did they have it? The ANBU members began to speak. I also have a message from the Mizukage. I am the 3. The 9 is with me. The 9 wishes for you. That is the message from the Mizukage. Utakata's eyes widened. The 9 was Naruto. Was the Mizukage also a Jinchuuriki? He sighed. I will come. The ANBU member nodded. Let us go then. Utakata walked through the Mizukage's office with ANBU members on either side of him. He was still suspicious of this, but if it was true, then he would get to meet Naruto face to face. When he entered the office, he saw the Mizukage sitting behind his low desk. His staff was off to the side. His eyes were calm. The Mizukage smiled at him, which was a surprise to him. He nodded to the ANBU members and they vanished. Hello, Utakata-san. It's good to see you. As I said in my message, I am Yagura, the 3 tails. Utakata narrowed his eyes. So they weren't lying. Yagura nodded. Yes. Utakata looked around. I thought you said that Naruto-kun was here. Yagura sighed. Naruto-kun was briefly in a fight with Zabuza, and he was injured. I was able to heal him though. Utakata relaxed after hearing that. He is changing into new clothes as they were damaged. Utakata nodded. I see. A door from the side opened. A servant stepped in.
Lord Mizukage.
Your guest is finished. Stepping in from the door, a blond boy with warm blue eyes and 3 whisker marks on each cheek. He was wearing a light green kimono with white accents. His feet were bare and he looked a little nervous. He looked like he was only 12, maybe 13. Yagura gave him a kind smile. You looked very nice, Naruto-kun. Utakata stiffened. You're Naruto-kun? Naruto looked at him and nodded. Are you Utakata-chan? Utakata nodded. It's nice to see you, Naruto-kun. But you knew of this? Why didn't you tell me? Looked down and clasped his hand. I wasn't sure how you would react. I didn't want you to hate me. Utakata gasped. Naruto-kun, There's just about nothing you could do to make me hate you. Naruto looked up, ran up to Utakata, and hugged him. Thank you. Yagura clapped his hands. Now that we're all here, let us have a feast. I'm sure that all of us are hungry. As they ate dinner, Utakata asked something he had been wondering about.
Naruto-kun.
Why did you run into and fight Zabuza? Naruto shifted. I was on my first C-rank mission. It was escorting a man named Tazuna. As it turns out, a man named Gato is trying to kill him because he's building a bridge to help his village in the Land of Waves. Utakata tapped the table. I've heard of Gato. He's a nasty piece of work. He wanted me to work for him, but I refused. Yagura grunted. That's good to know. He nodded. Anyway, Naruto-kun, continue. Well, first we ran into the twin demon brother, but we were able to defeat them easily. When we ran into Zabuza, Kakashi-sensei was able to fight him, but Zabuza was able to trick and trap him. My teammate, Sasuke-kun, tried to fight him but was overpowered. I rushed in to save him, but Zabuza was able to hit me across the chest. When he kicked me into a tree, I hit my head and lost consciousness. Yagura stepped in. That was when I arrived. I pushed Zabuza to retreat. I then healed Naruto-kun and brought him here. Utakata nodded. I see. I'm glad that you're okay, Naruto-kun. Urura nodded in agreement. I'm having your clothes repaired. You and Utakata-san will stay in my hall. In the morning, after breakfast, I will send you back to Tazuna-san's house. Naruto nodded and smiled. Thank you, Yagura-chan. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed exploring this what if with me. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos like this. Your support truly makes a difference, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Until next time, take care and stay tuned for more.